Hey everybody, welcome to Game 13 of the 1977 White Sox replay. This is actually Game 1 of a doubleheader here at Oakland to finish out this series. If my phone would allow it, I would record both games in one video, but I've got a time limit on when my phone will cut off on me, and it's usually about 46 minutes. So we'll get right into the game. Ballpark effects, it is good weather today in Oakland, so the singles at least have a chance. 1 to 4 is a single for lefties and righties. 1 to 8 home runs for lefties and righties. Starting pitcher for the A's is Mike Torres. He would later be traded to the Yankees, but right now he is in Oakland. And opposing him in the first game of this doubleheader is right-hander Chris Knapp of the Sox. We'll just do the lineups as they come up, so to save a little time. We'll bring this down so when the White Sox are batting, we'll be able to see it a little bit better, hopefully. And then when the Oakland A's are batting, I'll slide it up, as I seem to have found that at least semi, in theory, works. But everybody else can be the judge of that, I suppose. All right, leading off, Ralph Garr back in the starting lineup for today's game. Of course, every game in this replay is as played, so if they're there in the lineup, it's because they were there in real life. It's not some decision I made. Now, I will make decisions on bullpen and pinch hitters, but to start the game, I'm going with the original starting 9 plus the original starting pitcher. All right, so here's Ralph Garr to lead things off against Mike Torres. 3-11. 3-11's a ballpark single check, so right away, he's got a small chance, 1 to 4. Yesterday they had no chance, but today it's a 1 to 4 chance. But it's still going to be a line out to second because the Oakland Coliseum is not conducive to getting extra hits. In fact, with the large foul territory, that takes away quite a few hits. Here's Alan Bannister, back to his normal shortstop position today. 2-8, struck him out. So it didn't help that he was back at shortstop. He strikes out. So Torres goes 1-2 on the first two Oakland batters. And back in the lineup again is George Orta. He had been out with a nagging injury a couple days in a row. They'd had Norbrook at short and moved Bannister to second, but now everybody's back where they're supposed to be. And here's Orta. 3-5, and he draws a 2-out walk. So George Orta with the 2-out walk. He is not really a threat to steal. Stole 4 bases, got caught 4 times, but you do have Richie Zisk, who, by the way, has a 10-game hitting streak on the line today. So let's see if he can keep that going. And so they're not going to send Orta. They're going to hold him there. The 20 roll is a 3, so nothing's happening. 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check for Zisk. So he's got a 1 to 4 chance of extending the hitting streak on the first at bat. Not a 1 in 4 chance, but a 1-2-4. And that's not going to happen. He's going to line to short. So the ballpark didn't help 2 of the batters there, and Oakland Coliseum has 2 more victims of their large ballpark to take away hits. So nothing doing for the Sox in the first. Go to the bottom of the first. Chris Knapp steps to the plate, and he'll be facing, oops, let's get this out of the way here, 1 batter at a time. Bill North, switch hitter, batting leadoff for the A's. See what he can do here against Chris Knapp. Switch hitter batting left, 5-10. 5-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Bannister. And if you watch the previous game, you know the Sox had some troubles defensively. And let's see here. Bannister's a 4 E48, so risky business here as well. 4-17, he'll get to that. It's just a matter of checking the error. And on the E48, we have a total of 12. So we'll go to E48, see if there's a 12. There is, right here in the middle. 1 base error. So Bannister boots it. He's back at short, where you thought he'd be more comfortable, but first batter, he boots it. It's an E6. And North is aboard. He's always a threat to steal. Get a jump 2 through 9 or an 11, but if he rolls a 10 or a 12, he will be caught stealing. Or picked off, I guess that's the appropriate term. So as long as he doesn't roll a 10 or a 12, he'll get the jump. It's an 8, so he does get the jump. So we'll calculate his stealing. Starts with a 15. Knapp's a 0 hold. Essien's a 0 throwing arm, so it stays a 15. -2 for being held makes it a 13. So 1 to 13, he will steal second. 12, he barely got in there, but he did. So stolen base for Bill North. So the error has now caused the runner into scoring position for Rookie of the Year candidate Mitchell Page. Left fielder. we get a 2-7 for Mitchell Page, and that's a fly to center. Question mark B, so North has a chance to go to third, or he may hold, depending on what the situation is. So we'll check the center fielder arm, and that is Lemon. And Lemon's arm is a 0, so no effect there. North runs at a 16, so good chance here. If we look at the rule book on this, to go from, or does it only go from right field? I think you can only do it from right field now that I'm looking at it. Yep, right field B only, so we cannot advance to second on the, or to third on the fly to center. My bad. According to the rules, it was only showing the third base option, or right fielder option, I should say. So nix that, as the Stooges would used to say, nix stay on the Amscray. So here's Manny Sanguillen. You have to be a Three Stooges fan, I guess, to know what that means, of which I am. 3-8. 3-8 is a ground ball, second base B. That will get the runner over to third base with the ball hit to the right side. So there's 2 down now, and it's up to Dick Allen, the veteran Dick Allen, to get the run home. We get a 6-10. 6-10 is a ballpark single check again. So it's 1-4. We've had 2 failed checks in a row, but not this time. Dick Allen found a 1. So that's going to be a ballpark single. He beat the odds on that one. And singles home the run. It's 1-0 Oakland. That run is unearned, obviously, but they will take it. 1-0 Oakland. As they've split the first 2 games of the series, and now we're going to see what happens in these final 2 games. Wayne Gross, third baseman, the batter. Dick Allen's not going anywhere. 4-8, a lefty. 4-8, 1-9 as a single, and 10-20 he lines to first. And that's a base hit. 1 star though, so Dick Allen only goes to second base. So runners are at first and second with 2 outs for Earl Williams, the catcher. Righty on righty against Knapp. 1-3 is a ballpark single check again. So Knapp's got to figure the odds are he's got to work for me this time. 5, they barely do. So he barely gets out of it as Bannister snow cones it on that line drive. But the run does score, unearned as it is. And after 1 complete, it's the A's 1 and the Sox nothing. Southside hitmen need to get busy here against Mike Torres. And they're going to send their power-hitting first baseman Jim Spencer to the plate. Jim Spencer. 4-8 for Spencer against Torres. 4-8's ground ball to first. And that's 1 away. So 1 down, and that brings up DH Royal Stillman. Why they don't have Oscar Gamble, I don't know. You have to ask Bob Lemon. Maybe just want to get Stillman some at-bats. 6-11, Stillman's a lefty. 6-11, well, look, he's got a ballpark home run chance, and he does have normal power. So 1-8, and Royal Stillman will get a home run and justify Lemon's use of him as DH. And he does. It's a home run, Royal Stillman. So who am I to second guess Bob Lemon? Royal Stillman ties the ball game with a home run. On the season, he only hit 3 all year in 119 at-bats. So not the most powerful, but in this case, it worked. Here's Eric Soderholm. Speaking of home runs, he's more of the home run hitter. 5-10, but he's got a ballpark single check, and that's a 1-4. And not going to happen. He lines to short, 2 down, and that will bring up Chet Lemon. He's also hit a few home runs already this year. 1-9, and he's going to have a chance at another one. 1-9's a homer, 10-20 is a double. Southside hitmen coming out hitting. Oh, I got to re-roll it. It went all the way to the edge. Why is that? I got to be careful with when I roll my D20s because it can go right off the page here. It's a 1. You can barely see it on camera, but it is a 1. So it is a home run for Chet Lemon. Back 2 home runs this inning. 2 solo homers. And the Sox grab a 2-1 lead. And Mike Torres, not happy. He's having shades of Bucky Dentism, although that's next year. 2-5 for Essien is a solid double, so they're still getting to him. Essien, 2-out double, and that brings up back to the top of the order for Ralph Garr. So 5-4. against the lefty. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. That's Wayne Gross. And Gross defensively. Wayne Gross defensively is a 4 E31. 4 and a 6. That could be problematic. Check it out here. 4 and a 6 isn't single with 1 star. So he will not get to it. That's a 5, so that's a rare play. So we go to the rare play on an SI1. It says, with the runner on first base, the batter hits a line drive which hits the runner. So he's not on first base, he's on second base. With no runner on first, the batter hits a single, runners advance 1 base. So that would have been a case, had the runner been on first, he would have been hit by the line drive base hit, and he would have been out and the inning would have been over. But runner on second, that doesn't apply. But it is only 1 star, so even with 2 outs, Essien had to stop at third, so he cannot score. But runners are on the corners with 2 outs. They've got Torres on the ropes. Here's Alan Bannister. 4-10, struck him out. So Torres strikes out Bannister for the 2nd time in 2 tries, and that thwarts the rest of the Chi Sox plans. But they did pick up 2 runs thanks to 2 solo homers. And we go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's 2-1 Southside Hitmen. And that brings up Chris Knapp. Chris Knapp will be facing right fielder Sheldon Mallory, his first at bat. 2-9 for Mallory, and he grounds to Spencer at first. Steps on the bag, no problem, 1 away. That brings up Rodney Scott. We don't have Lentz in the lineup today, so we don't need the player app. We've got a Rodney Scott card right here, so he's going to step in. 3-4, and he grounds to Orta at second. 2 up, 2 down. And we're back to the number 9 hitter now, Rob Piccolo. 2-5 for Piccolo, struck him out, so Peach was rotten on that one. And at the end of 2 complete, it is the Sox 2 and the A's 1. And the Sox trying to rebound from that previous loss. Game they felt like got away from them. Feel like they should be beating the A's with no problem. A's were a last place team in 77, so they feel like they shouldn't be losing any games to them. They should at least win 3 out of 4. And to do that, they've got to sweep this doubleheader. So here's George Orta. He will be starting things off in the 3rd. 6-9 against Torres. That's a home run chance, and he definitely has normal power. 1-15 is a home run. 16-20 is a triple. So Orta looking to go deep. And he does. It's a home run. Now that's a 14. It is. You would have to rob the home run and have to be the first number or the last. He'd have to roll a 15 to rob the home run. 14, you're not going to rob it. So there is no robbing the home run. That is strictly a home run for Orta. If that had been a 15 or a 16, then there would have been a robbing home run chance, but not a 14. So Orta gets on the board. First start back in a while. Those injuries must have went away. He's feeling pretty good. Now here's Zisk. He's looking to extend that hitting streak. 5-4. Ground ball third base X. That's Gross again. So Zisk might have a chance if he can sneak it by Gross. Gross is only a 4. He's a 4 E31, so it's a chance that he can sneak it by Gross for a base hit. It's an 8. That's a good chance. 4 and an 8. Might very well do it. Check the 4 and the 8. 4 and the 8. No, he doesn't. He will get to it. It's a G3. Check for an error. It's a 12. And he is an E31. 12 and an E31. There is no 12. There's a 10 and 11, but no 12, so it's a good play for Gross. And Zisk will have to wait for another at-bat to try to extend that hitting streak. That's out number 1. Spencer steps to the plate. Sox have more pressing needs than a hitting streak. They need to win a game, get back on the winning side of things. 1-10 is a line out to second, handled by Scott. 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down after the home run. And that brings up the DH Royal Stillman. Speaking of home runs, he hit that surprising home run his first trip. This time it's a 1-3. He's going to fly to left. Handled by Mitchell Page, and the inning is over. But the George Orta homer has increased the White Sox lead to 3-1. Southside Hitmen came to hit today as they are abusing Mike Torres with 3 solo homers in 3 innings. So that brings us to the top of the order. Bill North back out. Get things started. He reached on an error and scored. First trip, 6-6. I'll switch hitter batting left, and he will draw a leadoff walk, so he's going to look to run again. He stole second base his first trip. Going to steal it again. We've already calculated the results. If he gets the jump, it's a 13, but he's got to get the jump first. If he rolls a 10 or a 12, then he's going to get picked off. Nope, he gets the jump. So it's a 15 minus the 2 for being held as a 13. So it's a 1 to 13 he will steal. And he's caught this time, so this time they got him. Jim Essien threw down to Bannister at short, 2-6 on the caught stealing. So they went to the well one too many times there and tried to be too aggressive, and it cost them. Here's Mitchell Page, 4-8 against a lefty. 4-8, so 1 to 9 single, 10 to 20. He will line it to Spencer. And he lines it to Spencer, so that's out number 2. Spencer barely able to get to that, but he was. That's all that counts. And here's Manny Sanguillen, longtime Pirate catcher. This time is a DH. 6-7 against a right-hander, struck him out. So Chris Knapp gets his second strikeout of the game. And that's going to do it for the A's here in the third. After 3 complete, it's Sox 3 and A's 1. And Torres now will come back out. And both managers are going to look for some innings from these guys because of the doubleheader. Don't want to burn all their bullpen in game 1 and have nobody for game 2. Torres has a 7 for his fatigue, and Knapp has a 5. So Knapp's the one that's got to worry about it. But if he's pitching well, he can stay in longer. So we'll see what happens. Here's Soderholm, 210 for Soderholm. That's a ballpark home run chance, 1 to 8. So it's a 1 to 8 chance for another dinger. It's a 19 though, so he flies to left. So that time Torres escaped. Brings up Chet Lemon. He homered his first trip, 4-3. Fly ball right field X. Right fielder is Sheldon Mallory. And Mallory, for his defensive prowess, let's check out what his defensive rating is. Mallory is a 3 E10. So decent range, but can make some errors. 3 E10. 3 to 10, he'll get to that, but we need to check the error on the E10. E10, and that is a 17. So an E10, and there's a 17 right there, a 2-base error sitting right there in the middle. 2-base error on Sheldon Mallory. So Lemon will reach on the E9. Sheldon Mallory committing the error. That's not going to make Torres very happy. Here's Essien. He will come up. Runner at second with 1 out. Essien, a 1-5. Ground ball to short. That's going to hold the runner. And there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order for Ralph Garr. 111 for Garr. He grounds to short, and that's the end of the inning. So Torres pitches around that 2-base error. Picks up his teammate, keeps it score at 3-1. And we'll go to Chris Knapp. He'll start his 4th inning of work. The next inning, the 5th inning, is when we start checking fatigue for him. But right now, he's good to go, facing Dick Allen. And Allen singled his first trip. 6-5. He's going to fly to right field this time, so 1 away. Nice, easy play out there by Zisk. That'll bring up Wayne Gross, 3rd baseman. He also singled his first trip. 4-6, he's going to strike out. So Knapp, second time around, having more success against the batters. That's usually opposite of what you would think in real baseball. Usually the more you see the more a batter sees a pitcher, the more effective it is for the batter. But in this case, it's the other way around. Here's Earl Williams, 6'10". That's a ballpark single check, but again, only 1 to 4. And last time he got the benefit of the... No, he didn't. He had a ballpark check last time and he lost it. He did the same thing again. So it's an L6 both times. So he's been the victim of Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Cost him 2 potential hits. And at the end of 4, it is still 3-1 Sox. Torres back out. We'll be facing Alan Bannister, the shortstop. He struck him out twice in a row. So let's see if he can go for the hat trick. 5-11. No, he's going to walk him this time. So Bannister Steele has not put bat on ball, but he does reach. Not really a threat to steal. He stole 4 bases. He got caught 3 times. So with the big boys coming up, you don't want to run yourself out of an inning. So he's going to stay put. George Order, he homered last time. Speaking of big boys, 6-2. He's got a ballpark home run chance again. So 1-8, and George Order will hit another home run, and he does. George Order, a 2-run shot, and maybe they ought to pitch him differently because Torres is getting bit by the gopher ball big time. That is home run number 4 in the game. All of them, I believe, or just about all of them, were ballpark checks, and it's only 1-8, so it's not like it's a bandbox there, but he's getting bit by that. Here's Zisk. He's trying to extend that hitting streak. 1-3. He won't do it there. It's a ground ball to third, so Zisk maybe has 2 more at-bats, or his streak's going to go by the wayside, but the Sox, their main concern is getting the win. Here's Spencer, 1-3. He's got a ballpark home run shot. So how about that? Another chance, 1-8. Not this time. He flies to right. The D20 could only hold out so long. 2 down now for Royal Stillman. One of those benefits of a home run hitter from the early on. 1-9. He's going to strike out, and that's going to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in thanks to the 2-run homer by Orta. And at the end of 4.5, it's the White Sox 5 and the A's 1. Think about going to the bullpen if you're Oakland, but again, you don't want to, particularly if the game gets out of hand, you don't want to forfeit game 2 at the altar of trying to keep game 1 close. Here is Sheldon Mallory. 1-7. It's a ground ball to second, 1 away. Knapp is the one that needs the innings to extend because their bullpen is a little on the light side, because Bart Johnson, who's normally a reliever, is actually the starter in game 2. So they only have 3 relievers to cover 2 games. 2-10 for Scott. He's a lefty against a righty. 2-10's a ground ball to second. 2 up, 2 down. 2 plays in a row to Orta. Orta's kind of like the star of the game here. 2 home runs, and now he's making some defensive plays. Here's Piccolo. 4-7 against a right-hander. He's going to draw a 2-out walk from Chris Knapp. And Piccolo stole 1 base on the year, got caught 4 times, so he's not going anywhere, especially down 5-1. Here's North. 6-8, 6-8, and North did some damage. 1-10 is a triple. 11-20 is a double. That is a triple for Bill North. So Bill North, an RBI triple, will score Piccolo, and the A's put their 2nd run on the board, cut the lead to 5-2. So how about that? Bill North gets into 1. All that happened on a 2-out walk. Those 2-out walks can come back to bite you. Here's Mitchell Page. 1-5, and it's really going to bite him because the inning continues. 1-5's a home run on a 1-3, but a double on a 4-20. So either way, the run's going to score. It's a 1, so Mitchell Page, 2-run bomb. So we had a triple and now a home run. And Oakland Alameda County Coliseum is playing like Coors Field or Fenway. It's 3 runs are in. All of a sudden, it's a 5-4 ball game. And the A's on the way back. Here's Manny Sanguillen. 5-9. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Bannister. He's a 4. Don't forget, 4 E48. 4-12, he'll get to that, but the E48 is questionable. So the E48, and the roll is a 5, actually. So we got a rare play again. So the rare play, and we check the 12 on the 4. The 12 on the 4 is a G3, so we go to G3 is a rare play. G3, batted line's a shot that hits the mound, deflects to the fielder, and makes the play. Okay, so it's not really anything rare about that. They just want to say it's a 1-6-3. Not sure if that's even, I guess that's possible, but it just seems unusual. I guess that's why it's rare. But it doesn't really matter. 1-6-3, 6-3 doesn't matter. The important thing is it's an out and the inning's over. But the other important thing is the A's just picked up 3 runs. And at the end of 5, it is Chicago 5 and Oakland 4. And we got ourselves a ball game again. So that's definitely going to let the manager, in this case Jack McKeon, keep Torres in a little bit longer. He's going to face Soderholm. 1-9, he grounds to short. 1 away. That will bring up Chet Lemon. 1-8. And that's a solid single for Chet Lemon. So he's reached base all 3 times. Once on the error, homer, and a single. Chet Lemon stole 8 bases, got caught 7 times. Let's check the prowess of the defense for the A's as far as holding runners. Williams is a +2 arm. Torres is a 0. So if we look at Lemon trying to get the jump, he would need a 2 through 6 or a 12. If he rolls a 9, he's picked off. It's a 6, so he does get the jump. So by getting the jump, he starts with a 15. Add 2 for the catcher, makes it a 17. Take away 2 for being held, makes it a 15. So 1 to 15, he'll steal. And he does. So it's a stolen base for Lemon. Gets himself into scoring position for Essien. So a sneaky stolen base there. Wasn't going to do it, but decided to, and it worked out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. 5-10. That's a ballpark single check again. It's 1 to 4. Will not work. That's a liner to short. 2 down. So now it's up to Ralph Garr to keep the inning going for the Sox. 2-3 for Garr. He's going to ground to third, and that's the end of the inning. So the single and stolen base doesn't amount to anything on the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-4 Sox. And Chris Knapp on shaky ground. This is going to be his point of weakness inning. Actually, last inning was his point of weakness inning, and he gave up a bunch of stuff. So he's already tired. So they're going to sneak and try to get one more inning out of him. But if he hits any of the dots, then he will face the fatigue penalty. 6-8. 6-8's a solid double. So Dick Allen with a double, and they may not be able to go with him much longer. Wayne Gross, the lefty's coming on, and actually they're going to go ahead and take Knapp out. They're not going to play around any longer. 5+ is all they're going to get out of him. And they have to hope that Bart Johnson can carry the load as well. So left-hander Dave Hamilton is coming on, as the left-hander Gross is coming up to bat. Hamilton does have a fatigue of 2. It looks like, if I'm reading that correctly, so you can go 2 innings. We'll see how it turns out. Hamilton, lefty on lefty against Mr. Gross. Allen's at first. He is the responsibility of Knapp. Knapp can't lose it, but he could not win it as well, depending on what happens. 6-9, lefty on lefty. 6-9's a strikeout. So we struck him out, 1 away. And just out of kicks and giggles, 6-9 on Knapp. Would have been a home run chance for the lefty Gross. So it's a good thing that they pulled him out just the right time. One more batter would have been too long. So now here's Earl Williams. 2-6 against the lefty, and he's going to strike out. So Hamilton has come on and struck out the first 2 he has faced. And now that brings up the right fielder Sheldon Mallory. We had a 3-10 for Mallory. He got hit by the pitch, so he got plunked. Hamilton plunks Mallory. And now that's going to bring up Rodney Scott. Switch hitter can turn around, bat right-handed. Hit a 2-6, and he's going to fly to left. That's going to end the inning, so Hamilton gets out of the issue there. As the A's fall short, and we go to the 7th, still 5-4. And that might be all for Torres, although he's 7's his fatigue innings. They're going to give him a chance to see what he can do. But Joe Coleman in the bullpen is loose, and I believe he's just about ready, as a matter of fact. And so is Pablo Torrealba, the lefty. So they got a couple of options here. So we'll see how they work it. Both righty and lefty action in the bullpen for the A's. It's all about matchups. All right, Bannister, 3-10, and that's a base hit. 1-4 is a single. I'm sorry, 1-4 is a double. Anything else is a single. So that's a base hit for Bannister, and that may be all for Torres. Orta, Zisk, and Spencer, 2 of the next 3 are lefties. So with order coming up, they're going to make the change. And they're going to go to Pablo Torrealba, lefty, to face the lefty Orta. So Torres goes 6+, and he faces 28 batters. But Pablo Torrealba, and Torrealba on the season, 4-6 with a 2.62 ERA. He does have long relief of a 3, so he could be in there for a while to eat some innings if need be. But right now they're bringing him in as a lefty specialist kind of routine to face George Orta. We get a 6-11, lefty on lefty. 6-11 is a fly ball right field X. That's Mallory. He's a 3E10. 3 and a 10 is a good play. So now we'll check the error. 3 and 10, I should say, he can get to it. That's what I meant to say. 3 and a 10. 3 and a 10 is actually an F2. And then we have an 11 on an E10. There is no 11. Last time we found, I believe, a 14 or a 15. This time, 11's a good play. So Mallory able to haul that in, one away. And here comes Zisk. This could be his last at bat, depending on how things go. So he needs to get that hit to keep the hitting streak going. 4-6, and he does it against Torrealba. 4-6, solid single against a right-handed batter right there. So Zisk extends the hitting streak to 11 games. Bannister will stop at second. So Zisk, now an 11-game streak. He'll try to make it 12 in the second game of the doubleheader. And here's Jim Spencer, lefty on lefty against Torrealba. You get a 1, so chance for Torrealba. His wild pitch rating is a 5. There is no wild pitch, so we go back to Spencer. 2-9, 2-9, ground ball second base C. That'll advance the runners. As Zisk goes to second and Bannister goes to third, so a base hit could score 2. And it's the DH, Royal Stillman. Now he's a lefty, and since they brought in a lefty, Torrealba, Bob Lemon's going to go to the bench, and they're going to bring in Lamar Johnson to DH, pinch hit and continue as DH. So Lamar Johnson's going to DH for the lefty Stillman. You could walk Johnson, but then you get a base. Then you had bases loaded to face Soderholm, so it's not a good situation either way you go. 4-6, and that's another solid single. That's the same one Zisk got a hit on. So still, Johnson gets the base hit. Whereas a 4-6 would have been a base hit on the lefty too. So either way, it was going to be done. And that's going to score Bannister. And we'll see about whether it scores Zisk or not. Zisk runs. He was not being held because he's a trail runner. He's an 11. The base hit went to left field. Mitchell Page's arm is a +2, so that's not good. Plus you get 2 points for there being 2 outs. So when you add all that together, you get a total of 15. 11 plus 2 plus 2 is 15. So 1 to 15, he will score. And he's thrown out at the plate. So Mitchell Page unloaded one and threw him out. And that's going to end the inning. Saves a run. Only 1 run comes across. So Mitchell Page cut down Zisk at the plate. Good block there by Williams. But that keeps the A's in the ball game by doing that. Score is 6-4. Could have been 7-4 with the Sox still batting. So a big play there by Mitchell Page with his arm. Even though he's got a poor arm, he was able to get the throw that time that they needed. And now we go to the 7th inning stretch. The score is 6-4. And Rob Piccolo will lead off against Hamilton. 5-7. Fly ball to center, and that's 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Bill North. He will turn around and bat right-handed against the lefty. Bill North, 3-6 against the lefty. It's a solid single. Going the other way. Base hit. Now, do they want to take a chance in stealing North? We know it's a... Well, actually, it's different now because Hamilton's got a +1 holding rating, so it would be a 14 if he gets the jump instead of a 13. So they're going to try it. The odds are better, I guess they figure. That's an 11, so he will get the jump. So if we roll a 1 through a 14, he will make it. And it's a 20, got caught again. So the D20 not kind to Bill North, and he's not happy about it. That play went south for North. as he's been caught stealing twice now. And in real life, if we look at his statistics, he stole 17 bases but was caught 13 times, so his percentages were not the best. So 2 outs, bases empty now for Mitchell Page. 3-9 against a lefty is a walk, so that will keep the inning going. Mitchell Page, definitely a threat to steal. He stole 42 bases, caught only 5 times, so he's going to definitely go. If he gets the jump, though, it has to be a 2 through 5 to get the jump. That's the only way he gets the jump. And he's not going to get the jump, so he would start as a 13, and then +1 makes it a 14, but -4 for being held would be a 10. It's down to a 50-50 split, so they're not going to take a chance because they saw what happened to North. So he's going to stay put. Here's Sanguillen, 5-6, and Sanguillen pays off. 5-6, 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. So a single would put runners at the corners. And that's what we have. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Dick Allen. So Dick Allen steps up. Chance to get the A's right back in this thing. 4-5. It's going to ground to third, though, and that's going to end the inning. So Dick Allen fails in the clutch. And the A's leave 2 on. So at the end of 7, it's Chicago 5 and Oakland 3. I'm sorry, it's Chicago 6, Oakland 4. I can't count right these days, can I? 6-4. And now the A's will go to their bullpen again. And they will call on Joe Coleman, right-hander. So Joe Coleman is on. He will take over here in the 8th inning, as the Sox have some righties coming up. So Soderholm, first one up to the plate. Righty on righty against Coleman. So an inning for Torrealba. 4-3 against a right-hander. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. That's Mallory again. He's a 3-E10. 3-13, he'll get to that. E10 and a 7. Is there a 7 on an E10? E10, there is no 7, so it's good play for Mallory. 1 away, and that brings up Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon homered, singled, and reached on an error. 5-7, and he will do it again. 1-6 is a double, 7-20 is a single. So Chet Lemon continues the hot hitting. That's a single. So Lemon 3 for 4. The one time he reached base on an error counts against him, so he's 3 for 4. And he did steal last time, but I think they're going to go ahead and well, Coleman is a +1, and we know Williams is a +2. That's a +3. You know what? They're going to see if they can get the jump again. So 2 through 6 or a 12, they will get the jump. It's a 5, so he does get the jump. It's a 15, and we know he has a +3. Makes that an 18. Being held, it's a 16. So 1-16, he'll make it. And he's caught stealing on the 17. How do you like that? Got a little bit too greedy there, and it cost him. So Chet Lemon is out of there. And now Essien will come up with the bases clear and 2 outs. 1-7, he's going to draw a 2-out walk. Seems to be a theme here lately, these 2-out walks. But Essien's not going anywhere. Here's Ralph Garr, back to the top of the order. 6-7 against a lefty is another walk. So back-to-back walks by Joe Coleman. And all of a sudden, the Sox looking to threaten again. Here's Bannister. They're looking to increase that lead. Now it's righty on righty. 6-6, and that's not good news for Coleman. 6-6 is a solid single to left field. Now we need to see if the runner is going to score or whether Mitchell Page can throw him out again. Let's see. Essien, who was on second, and he was being held. It was an 11, makes him a 10. You get 2 for there being 2 outs, makes it a 12, and +2 for Page makes it a 14. So 1-14, they're going to try their luck again. And he's thrown out again. Mitchell Page with a second outfield assist. And the Sox just aren't learning about these things. Mitchell, don't run on Mitchell Page. All right, so all that activity and nothing to show for it. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still a 6-4 lead for the Sox against the A's. Wayne Gross will lead things off against Hamilton. Laren LeGros, the closer, is in the bullpen, so he is loosening should Hamilton falter a little bit. But right now he's got a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Wayne Gross, 3-4. And that's a leadoff walk. Leadoff walks can come back to get you. Wayne Gross with the leadoff walk here is Earl Williams, right-hander. 0 for 3. 2-4 against the lefty, and he's going to ground to short into a double play. 6-4-3. Just what Hamilton was looking for. 6-4-3 double play. And Mallory will come up with 2 outs and the bases empty. Now, do they want to pinch hit for Mallory? I think they will. They're going to pinch hit for Mallory. Bring a righty in. So let's see who they're going to bring in. They're going to bring in Tony Armas. A very young Tony Armas. One of his first seasons. So he had not established himself as a power hitter yet, but he's a righty, so they're going to play the percentages and see about doing that. And Armas will stay in the game to play right field, which he's also a 3E10, so the rating doesn't change. All right, here is Armas. 1-5 against a lefty, and he struck him out. So Armas fails in the pinch. And we go to the 9th inning, still a 6-4 lead for the White Sox. And if we look back at Sheldon Mallory, that 1-5 result against the lefty, he would have struck out also. So no win situation there between the two, as neither one was going to make it happen. All right, Joe Coleman will come in, will stay in to pitch, so they can save up the rest of their bullpen. Laren LeGros will be coming in for the Sox in the 9th. Right now, it is Coleman trying to keep the White Sox from extending this lead. So right now, it's only a 2-run lead, so they're still in the game. Orta 1-5, and that's a leadoff walk. Boy, that's the theme of this game is leadoff walks. Orta going to sit still and let the big boys hit. Richie Zisk, 1-8 for Zisk. Struck him out. So it's a good thing Zisk got that hit in his last at-bat, because streak would have been over otherwise. Here's Spencer. 5-10 against a lefty. Ground ball, third base X. Again, that's Wayne Gross. He's only a 4, and that's a 5, so that's almost guaranteed to be a base hit. If my memory serves me correctly. 4 and a 5 is a SI1, so 1 base advancement. There's a 9. And Gross is an E31. E31, there is no 9, but it is going to be a single. 1 star. So that will move Orta to second. Runners at first and second, 1 out for Lamar Johnson, the DH. 6-6 against a right-hander. Against Coleman, that's a single to left field. And they're not going to test Mitchell Page. They're just going to hold the runners. No way in the world he's going to be going here. So the bases are now loaded with 1 out for Eric Soderholm. And the A's are going to make a move to the bullpen. They don't want to get away, so they're going to bring in Doug Bayer, their right-hander. Doug Bayer will be coming on and try to get out of this. So Doug Bayer coming in for Coleman. Big spot, bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Eric Soderholm. 5-11, struck him out. That's a huge strikeout for Doug Bayer. 2 down. 2 down, and it's up to Chet Lemon if the Sox want to extend the lead. We got a 6-6. Fly ball to right. That's going to end the inning. I know that 6-6 would have been a base hit on Coleman, but Bayer pitches out of it, and the Sox get nothing even though they load the bases, so that could come back to bite them. But we go to the bottom of the 9th. Sox still hold a 6-4 lead. Timeout for the new pitcher, Laren LeGros. Okay, bottom of the 9th, 6-4. Sox lead. Laren LeGros, the new pitcher, Rodney Scott, Rob Piccolo, and Bill North, the batters. Numbers 8, 9, and 1. There's really not much on the bench. Jeff Newman's on there, but he doesn't hit much better than Piccolo does, so they're just going to go with what they have. Here's Scott, switch hitter batting left. 4-10. 4-10 is a ballpark single check on LeGros, and that's a 1-4. And it's a liner to second, so there's one away. Now here's Peacholo and Bill North to follow. I want to keep that tying run off the base, want to keep the guy off base so the tying run never comes to the plate. That's what I meant to say. Easy for me to say. 3-12 is a line out to third base max, but there's nobody on base, so there's two away. Now it's up to Bill North. See if this goes south for him. 1-7, it does. He flies to center, and that's the ball game. So Laren LeGros gets the save, and only pitching one inning means he can come back and pitch in game 2. Now Hamilton cannot. He's been used. He pitched 3 innings. He cannot come back, but LeGros can. And I believe Torrealba and Bear can come back. Coleman probably not. I think Coleman went 2 innings, so we'll figure it out as we total things up. But the final score, the important part, final score, game 1 of the doubleheader, the Sox win it by the score of 6-4. Winning pitcher was Chris Knapp, and the loser was Mike Torres. And LeGros gets the save. And Richie Zisk extends his hitting streak to 11 games. He'll go for game 12 in game 2 of the doubleheader. Sox improve their record to 9-4 through 13 games. So until game 2 comes along, hope you enjoyed that broadcast, and we'll see you all down the road.